Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Ayakashi Koigikyoku, and we were just starting chapter 4 of Akito's route. Actually surprised that his first chapter was not terribly translated like everyone else, and so far, there's been some awkward moments and bits where you're like, that sentence doesn't make sense, and like, whatever, but it hasn't been that bad. And it's actually, I mean, okay, look, I didn't think... Like, you knew Akito was kind of a dick to us, but in every other route, he's always kind of, like, turned out a little bit nicer, and you're like, he's kind of the fucking marshmallow you knew it would be, and he kind of fucking is. And I'm actually enjoying his route. It could have been up in the air. Like, it really could have been, because he could have been one of those asshole characters that you're like, why do people like him? And then some people just love him, and you're like, no, he's a douche, and I don't think so. No. Or he was going to be the marshmallow character. In Keisuke's right, it seemed like maybe he was going to be definitely more the marshmallow character. Kind of seemed like that in the other route, so. Didn't think I would hate him, but look, Kosei and Keisuke were always my favorites. And like, Kasumi and Yuki, it's like, yeah, no, I mean, they're fine, Kara. I don't really want to date them, though. Like, and I figured, I'm like, well, Akito, we might like him, we might not. I don't know. But I do. So yeah, I like it so far. It's kind of interesting. So, and you think it's got to be a little bit, it should be better if it's supposed to be the canon route, you know what I mean? But at any rate, he's obviously in love with us if he took us to his secret place, bought us cotton candy, and got so excited after having one beer that his ears and tails pop out. So, fucking hilarious. Anyway, so that's where we are. We've already figured out who he is, but we know that. We knew it already, but she didn't. We did. Anyway. Shush! The sound of the fireworks from that time stay in my ear. It's already halfway through the summer, and the heat's become even hotter. The temperature rise in the afternoon. Akito demanded me put on the air conditioner. Demanding me to put on the air... Okay, anyway. It's not good to cool down your body too much. I warned him by showing the remote of the air conditioner. Akito was sticking out his tongue. We feel even hotter. Remember, we have fur. God, you must have to shave a lot. Oh, really? When I tried to lower the temperature quickly, Kasumi grabbed my hand and stopped me. Akito, don't tell her something like that. I'm sorry, Akito really just hates the hot weather. If Akito's twin brother Kasumi says so, it must be right. You fooled me again. When I got angry and put my hand on my back, Kasumi seemed surprised and looked at my face amazingly. What's the matter, Kasumi? You said again. Does my brother tell you lies? Well, yes. It feels like making fun of me rather than fooling. I would say it feels like that he's teasing me rather than, lying on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, to being a dick, I guess is what she's trying to say. Well, explaining it to Kasumi, I remembered how Akito and I were interacting after that night. I went to the office tensed up the day after the summer festival. And they spelled Keisuke out, wow. Keisuke talked to me that, told me that they were foxes, and they're working as a band, hiding the fact that they're foxes. He explained that they work as musicians for a certain purpose. Of course, he didn't mention anything in detail. What is their purpose? Although I wasn't able to get details about it from Keisuke, surely I had to imagine the Magatama would be related. What kind of expression should I have on my face? Wonder if they're going to threaten me. I know it wasn't Akito's attention, but he started to release himself out when he was drunk. Okay, yeah, I get what she's saying. I also remember that he almost kissed me. I'm nervous. Hey, why are you talking to yourself? You're in our way standing in front of the door. If you're too afraid of us, you should just run away. I was surprised at the sudden voice behind me. I said I won't run away. I promised you to protect you as a manager. I repeated what I said yesterday again to Akito. Akito was stunned for a moment and started laughing. What? You? You're gonna protect us? Akito started to kick the door right behind me, making a big noise. We were looking for this the whole time. Looking for the Magatama that sealed our chief from a long time ago. Your mission as a band was to look for it to get revenge on the humans. Huh? With the Magatama? Never heard such a story before. You probably forgot about it. Well, I don't think that's true. I don't know if it's the truth or not. Maybe it's been passed on now as a charm, forgetting the reasons and the purposes of this Magatama completely. Also, I don't think you guys are singing for that purpose only. When I strongly talked back to him, Akito's facial expression was blunt. I watched you, Akito. For your efforts on singing and work, I can't imagine that you've done all this just for revenge. Akito's red pupils that glared at me softened slightly. If you guys were wanting to sing for the fans, I'll never leave a secret. If you guys were wanting to sing for the fans, I'll never reveal your secret. I'll support it properly as a manager. I was perplexed yesterday. I understood completely from Akito's sway of his emotion. I don't think everyone's in this band is about... I don't think everyone in this band is a bad person. You know nothing, do you? Although Akito shows distortion on his face to show his anger, I couldn't take it back when I saw his emotions when I mentioned his passion for singing. That was... Okay, I said it wasn't painful. It's painful now. This chapter's painful, but okay. I'm probably one of Foxear's fans now. I felt a shiver when I first heard their songs at the concert. I was almost shocked by their songs. I became a manager because of the mystery of the Magatama and the mystery of my dream, but I started to think purely that I wanted to be their help. I'll also look for more information about the Magatama. Maybe one of my relatives might know something. Also, I want to know more about this. With what I said, Akito tutting small and opened the door behind me in a very rough manner and entered. Wow. Okay, you cut what's happening with that fucking horrifying sentence. Trying to ignore me and what I said. A few days had passed since that day. There was no progress on finding out about the Magatama or to make a better relationship with Akito. You're getting used to us now. You think so? Maybe. I know, my brother ignores completely if he doesn't like anyone. Also, in fact, he used to make fun of me often when I was little. When I was listening to Kasumi's story, Akito glared at us. No, Akito, I was just talking to her manager, but I'm glad you guys are getting along. I was just saying to her manager. Anyway, are you blind? How can you say that? Oh, you don't think so? Do you think we'll have a friendly relationship with humans one day? That's a dream. Don't be ridiculous. Akito threw words at us and started walking away. I tried to chase him. Akito, wait! Kasumi wanted to say something but didn't have a chance to say it and send the both of them. Okay. He fluttering his hair and left for the next... Okay. Anyway. Okay, whatever the hell that was supposed to say. Alright, chapter 4 is a train wreck. Alright, well, the first 3 chapters weren't terrible. Today is an advertisement shooting for fizzy water that's going to be released this summer. Hey! Stop! Stop! Why are you being a brat? Stop being a brat. Be nice to the birdies outside. You do not need to shriek at them. Do not. You behave. You behave. Well, you want to go live with them? I'll open the door and throw you out. I'm kidding. I would never do that. Don't be too sad. I'd miss you even though sometimes you're a pain in the fucking ass. Yeah. No, and I wouldn't do that because the birdies outside would make fun of you because you know how to fucking survive. You'd be like, where the fuck is the food? Where's the mommy lady to put all the food in the dishes? Stop. Come here. I'm sorry, but I can't stand it when he shrieks like this. Come here. Come here. I'm not yelling at you. I'm gonna yell at you, though. You come sit with me so you shut the fuck up. Come sit over here and shut up. Oh, you stupid dick. Fine, but don't be screaming. He just flew the fuck away. He's like, no, bitch, I don't want to be with you. I just want to sit over here and scream. Like a jerk. Start throwing seeds at you. That's probably what he wants. Today is the Admiral... Okay, we already read that. Akihito? Akihito. I'm supposed to be Akito. Wow. And fix the names when it translates them fucked up. Okay, Akito. Oh, please look slightly away a little bit. Also, we want you to be wet, so we'll be splashing some water on you. It's hot outside, but the studio has AC on. He needs to wipe as quickly as he can to warm him. I think I saw a blanket in the waiting room. When I stood up to get a blanket... Oh, don't splash the water yet. The hose clamp's not fixed properly. What? Suddenly I had water splashing from behind. I'm very sorry. Are you okay? I'll try to prepare a change of clothes. It's okay. It's only water. Please continue with the photo shoot. Seems like I'm the only one who caught the water. Water was everywhere. If we don't clean up the mess, we can't continue shooting. Akito's afternoon schedule is also packed, so I'll help you clean up. I thought I shouldn't make any delay on the schedule, so I started to help clean up with me soaking. I felt Akito's eyes on me, but before I looked back, I should finish off cleaning the floor first. Akito, let's take the photo in a different layout first. Otherwise, we're gonna run out of time for all the shooting. The footsteps of Akito were going away from me. I guess he returned to shooting. I finished wiping and changed my clothes. He probably saw me all wet and was like, yeah, it's hot. The photo shoot finished without trouble. Since there was no jacket I could change into, I borrowed a cardigan instead. We started to head off to the next site. The next job is the radio. Akito? While checking in the notebook with the taxi... Anyway, Akito was watching me with a mysterious face. What's the matter? Nothing. Just finish off all the jobs for today. Akito said that and looked away from me. He got out of the taxi and went inside the studio. By the time we finished the radio recording, the night was deepening as well. I slowly opened my eyes when my shoulder was shaken. Before I knew it, I'd fallen asleep in the taxi. The taxi was already stopped in front of the office. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for today. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. I handed the taxi ticket and the schedule for tomorrow. When I tried to get up, my view was all blurred. Huh? I couldn't hold myself up and I clung onto the taxi door. Are you okay? I was vaguely conscious already. All I could feel was the coldness and dullness. What? Do I have a fever? Didn't you know your face was red all this time? And you were soaking wet and staying under the AC. Akito touched my forehead. His hands are giving me comfort. So much comfort that I lose my strength. Anyway, I'm sorry. I should also take care of my health. When I collapsed down, Akito grabbed my arm and carried me sideways. Akito? I was surprised when Akito was carrying me like a princess. I tried to sit up, but Akito didn't say much and carried me into the office. How sweet of him. I was just like, figure it out, bitch! Goes inside. He opened the door and entered the office. Akito turned on the light with his shoulder and he quietly put me down on the sofa. You eat something. You can't not even drink the medicine. Is Akito preparing it for me? Then, can I have more milk? I hesitated for a minute and asked for a hot milk. After a while, Akatsuki, Akito brought me hot milk. Thank you very much. I didn't know you could make hot milk. I was surprised. Not only he warmed up the milk, he put some honey in it. I could taste his kindness. Kasumi used to have fevers a lot. Oh, he did? Akito sat down on the sofa next to me. He also made some milk for himself. According to Akito, Kasumi's body was weak and he often stayed in bed. Akito was always nursing him. I didn't know he was sick, but he seems fine now. He's better now, right? He's not that well still. He's just in an okay status right now. Amongst everyone in the pure breed, he has huge power. What? He raised his voice, but Akito kept on talking. Even though Akito and Kasumi were twins, Kasumi has more potential of having greater power. Now it's Kazumi, not Kasumi. Kasumi can't control his power because it was too much for him, so he was in bed often. I didn't know they had a situation like this. Kasumi seems like he's always avoiding behind Akito, so it was difficult to notice. Even with great power, it's meaningless if he can't control it, and that's why I'm supposed to be the next head of the village. You see, it was a story I'd never heard before. The only thing I could do was nod. The situation in the village seemed serious. The fox lineage is getting gradually smaller. Also, even for the purebred, it means as the generations pass, the bodies are getting weaker. After the conversation is... you're gonna have to start making some mudbloods is all I'm saying, because, After the conversation's over, Akito's eyes were shaking and staring at my Magatama. Is that why you wanted to have this Magatama? I quietly touched the Magatama where Akito was looking. Because of my fever, my fingertips even colder. Were even colder? My fingers were even colder? Magatama, there's my ancestor's enormous power. Your ancestor sealed it. Why did your ancestor get sealed? I didn't know. Even if I asked around my relatives, they haven't heard anything about sealing a fox, even as a legend. I couldn't think even anymore, and my views started to get blurry. Okay, that I started to view blurry. Okay. Akito touched my face. Hey, your fever's rising now. Drink it and take the medicine. As he said that, I started to drink the warm milk. It must be disqualified as a manager. I couldn't do my job well because of my health. Even though I said I'll protect everyone as a manager and keep everyone's secret. Oh my god, it's okay to get sick. It happens. Aww. His little face is so sweet. Someone was tapping my shoulder to assure me when I felt unworthy and depressed about myself. Just go ahead and sleep. You'll only think negative when you're weak. Think negatively? Yeah, Kasumi sometimes gets sick and cries with apologies. He kept on saying if his body was strong enough, he could let me sing. Although Akito seemed sadly looking away for a moment, his voice was gentle. Akito really is an older brother to Kasumi. He seems to sincerely care. Wait, he seems sincere care that I can't imagine from usual. I don't even know what the fuck that... Okay, anyway. He seems sincere and he seems to care, which is not normal for him. Okay, something like that. Is there anything I can do? Refusing to hand the Magatama, it's strange to say such a thing, but unintentionally I opened my mouth, said it. Anyway, what? As I kept on saying, just hand that to me. I was trying to see whether I'd be able to give up the Magatama, but my hand doesn't move. The Magatama stuck to my skin so that it doesn't move, as if it's refusing and said not yet. Seems like it's refusing. Can't take it off. I don't know if he believes me or not, but I tried to be honed. Tried to be honed? Okay. Then Akito muttered a little. Try to be honest, I think is what it means. I think it's supposed to be say honest, but... If you're weak now, I can try to take it away right now. It's a joke. I wouldn't do that even to someone who's sick, would I? There was something on his forehead. What? Oh, there was something on my forehead. It's a lucky charm. I heard that a kiss from a fox can fix all kinds of diseases. Well, if that's true, Kasumi wouldn't be sick. Akito stood up and said goodbye. He meant it as in go to sleep. Akito, are you leaving? If it's usual, I'll send him away by now. But I'm so weak that I asked him that. No, I'm gonna search for clothes you can wear. There should be some extra t-shirts from the concert. And you've been sweating, haven't you? Oh, as he told me, I realized that I was sweating on my back quite badly. It's probably the fever. Thank you. I never thought he'd be so kind to me, and my voice flipped. You seem cheerful as a sick person. Alright, you want me to change your clothes? Akito said with a challenging grin. Look for the change by myself. Ask Akito. Ask Akito is the right answer. Wow! Damn, girl. Okay, can you... I didn't know what was the right answer. My mouth moved automatically. You're like, I don't even give a shit. I'm so fucking sick. I don't care right now. Hey, you're so stupid that you can't even understand a joke. Huh? I'm sorry. Even though I didn't understand much earlier, I was able to judge that he was angry, so I apologized as a reflex. Then Akito went towards the locker, blushing. You're like, yeah, can't you help me? He's like, it's just joke. Because we turned his joke on him. We were like, yeah, that'd be great. And he's like, couldn't do that. We called his bluff. What Akito brought back was a Fox Ears concert t-shirt from last year. Thank you so much for this. Akito, who's being cold to me, is being really kind and gentle. It made my heart even warmer. I feel happy now. I don't know whether it was the kiss of the forehead from earlier or the charm he did. My forehead was warm. Seems like the medicine's working. Sleep now and get better. Akito's voice was really clear and gentle. It echoed in my ear while I was half asleep. That night I saw a dream with a white fox. I was walking in the middle of the mountain. The white fox's front right leg was injured. I took care of the fox with a medicine I had and patched with leaves. When I finished patching his leg, the fox bowed and left for the mountain. Thank you. I'm going to return to you for proper gratitude. A gentle sound that hid inside my ear, and when the same sentence echoed, it changed to Akito's voice. Huh. I was wondering if it's supposed to be like a memory that the fox was showing us that was his, of being helped by my ancestor, or was like that us remembering something that we did with Keisuke, you know how he was always watching our family? I don't know. The summer sky is high and blue. White clouds are flowing. It's a sunny day that's good for laundries to dry. There's no more laundry, right? It's just an office, so there are only a few washings to do. Akito has taken out the towels, and the other day I washed t-shirts and others and hang from the window. Even though I had a high fever, when I got up in the morning I was better. Maybe Akito's luck charm really worked. I touched my hand on the forehead where he kissed as a lucky charm, and suddenly... What are you doing? You'll get a fever again. Akito came through the door. No, I'm all better now. Thank you. Akito was looking at me suspiciously, but I don't know why my face was blushing. Akito was watching me for a while. He eventually sat on the sofa. Then he asked about today's work. Today's the recording for a music program. Since I was asked about the co-star, I read a note. Well, it's Pyros and Blossoming Bloom. Foxeer is a band that focuses on songs, so they can't talk openly like other talents. They only appear on TV programs for advertisements. They practice in advance for the talking part before they go for a shooting. When I handed the material to Akito, he made a dubious face. Seems like he didn't know the band. I tried to hand him the information as much as I know about them. It's the Visual K band recently just debuted, and they mentioned Foxeer as a band that they respect the most. Well, you know all about them. When Akito seemed like he was in a good mood, he started to look through the details. He was soon frowning after looking at the paper. What's the matter? Nothing. There was so much makeup that I can't tell for sure, but I think I've seen them before. They are, well, they are a fan of Foxeer. Perhaps they might have already come to your concert before. That makes more sense. Okay. Akito had somewhat an indescribable expression when he looked through the information. While I was watching Akito reading with Kasumi, Yuki, Keisuke, and Kosei came over to the office. As soon as my cousin entered the room, he looked apologetic at me and said that I can't go to the music program shooting with him. Wait, he's saying he can't go to the music program with them. He looked apologetic at me and said that I can't go to the music program with him. It sounds like he's telling us that I can't go, but in this sentence mean... If it's usual, I'll go with you guys. And there have been so many documents in the office that need to get done. Don't worry, I'll go. Yeah, okay. But you just got better. It's weird because it's like, I can't go with him. But he can't go with them, is what it should have said. But, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It's okay. I've been taken care of properly. Oh, taken care of? Did you get a boyfriend? When I said that and looked over at Akito, our eyes met, but Akito started to look away immediately. It wasn't true, but Akito seemed like his eyes were turning a little bit red. Watching that, I became a little bit embarrassed. Like, what? No? We head to the studio in 2 taxis. It seemed like there were fan messages and flowers from the fans in the waiting room. It's really great to hear from our supporters. I'm really happy. Well, but not the big presents. Recently, the fans learned to have their manners, so it's a lot better now. While everyone's reading letters from the fans, Akito stayed the same and read the information. What's the matter? Is there anything you don't like? Akito was thinking really hard looking at the information. Kasumi noticed and also looked into the information. Hey, Kasumi, do you recognize their faces? Not really. I don't know much about other bands. The moment Kasumi looked at the material from Akito, his expression changed completely. Akito, The door to the dressing room was opened violently all of a sudden. Who are you guys? This is Foxeer's waiting room. As a manager, I thought I'd have to push them out of the room. My arm was grabbed instead. Wow! The guy who grabbed my arm has blonde hair and makeup in Visual K style. What? Who are you guys? Get away from our manager! Yuki's face started glaring at the blonde guy. Akito stood up swiftly and squeezed the papers he had in his hand. Hey! You've noticed! I thought you guys forgot us completely. I don't know their voices. Every single time we do them, they're different, but I don't even give a shit. There's another guy who's green hair and looking like a snake. He appeared from out of the side of the blonde guy who looks like a lion. I see. You guys are a raccoon and a rat, aren't you? Huh? Keisuke started to talk to the guy who's grabbing me and the guy next to him. I've seen you guys during the festival in our village. You're the children from the head families in the raccoon and mouse villages. Huh. You guys trying to look like a lion and a snake, but you're really just a raccoon and a rat. Surely that's what you guys are good at, deceiving people. Akito kicked the chair to provoke them. What's wrong with being a raccoon? Foxes are getting weaker and the birth rate's decreasing. You guys are almost extinct. That's why you guys need to depend on the Magatama, right? A man who's grabbing me starts to deride at Akito. Moreover, someone like you is really the next head of the village? Akito starts grinding his teeth and doesn't say anything back. He normally does. You're rude! I really wish we could have answered you're rude. But I don't want to get a bad ending. Let me go! Although I start to get away from the blonde guy, he doesn't move at all. I glared and said, What do you mean someone like you? Akito and the other members aren't singing just for that purpose. They work hard because they love singing. I understood because I was watching by his side. So there is no lie. Akito was staring at me surprisingly. Who's this? You're a human and taking the side of a fox? This human woman is the Magatama. Is this your lifeline? I really miss Nakone. I don't know why. I just feel like he's the one that's like, I'm just here because, like, my dad didn't want me in the village anymore. And, like, I'm just hanging out with them, but, like, I don't really like them very much. They're kind of like assholes. Like, he's only been in, like, one of the other, he was in Kosei's round, that was it, right? He might have showed up in, like, Kasumi or Yuki's route, but he's never with them ever otherwise. It's funny. The snake-like guy next to me started reaching towards my Magatama. Stop! As soon as I tried to defend it, the Magatama splashed the beam of light. Ah! Ooh! Supposed to be like ow, but it's ooh! I don't even know how to pronounce that. O and U are not, it's not a word. Wee! There's no I, but... I stood still after the two of them were blown away and hit the wall of the corridor and collapsed on the floor. When they started to stand up and totter, Akito looked down and said, You guys entered our room without permission. What kind of a greeting is this? You wrote that our band's the one you respect the most. Don't make me laugh. What do you want from us? How nice. The next head of the Fox Village knows about our profile. It's our honor. When he smiled, he looks like his mouth was about to split in two. I stepped back a little because he looked horrifying. You can be snobby and make fun of others for now, but it's not going to last long. Period of the fox being praised is ended. No, but like foxes are cool. Shut up. Raccoon. Goddamn trash. Shut up, trash panda. I want to let you know about this. You started for that silly purpose? What? Silly purposes? You guys said to your village that if you gained the Magatama, you were going to invade the humans. We can't just wait and watch you do it. If you want to resume the territorial battle, we'll accept it. I don't even know what kind of conversation is happening here. Is this going to be another dance-off? It's going to be another band fight? It's a band fight. You wouldn't be a match for us, you weakened foxes. They called us foxes. They left our room with a challenging smile. The staff rushed in because of the crashing noise against the wall earlier. Is there any trouble? Those punks. No, nothing really. Pyros and that group of clowns just came in for a greeting. While Keisuke calmly responded to the staff, Akito kept on having an angry expression, looking in the direction of where Pyros left. But it's funny because there was only ever the three of them. But then later in one of the other routes it says there's 5 members of the group. But only 2 of them ever show up. So is there 2, 3, or 5? I don't know. It's different. Recording began. The remaining members of Pyros are also some kind of mystic creatures. Okay. Because there's always been the 3. And then it was Yuki's route maybe, or there was like the 5 members, and you're like, 5? There's only 3. And then Nakone was never in it, and you're like, he doesn't even fucking show up, and they mentioned 5. So, okay. Now we know. Now there's more than 2. Anyway, we knew there was at least 3, but remaining members, there's at least 4, so probably the 5 that were mentioned. Pyros, a band that various kinds of mystic creatures transformed into a human. Keisuke told me different villages of mythical creatures are going against the fox's rule. I hope they're okay. I was watching up the set continuously, just as another group is sitting between Foxier on the left and Pyros on the right. Today, here are 2 visual K-bands. It's really gorgeous than usual on the screen. It's really more gorgeous than usual on the screen. From the hall, there's clapping and cheering from the fans. The first band is, as you know, Foxier. Another group that's rising in popularity is Pyros. I wish I could have come up with something snarky to call them, but I've lost my mojo, so. Both bands had big cheers. Foxier was getting cheers from the fans, but there were also many fans of Pyros in the studio. They told me that they're going to rule people through their songs. They might have brainwashed some people already. It's scary to think of the possibilities. Although, if they were able to do that, I'd probably be a fan already. Maybe this Magatama is protecting me. I was going to be like, we know why, but there you go. Well, if you think about it, the Magatama is protecting me, and I've been this much fascinated by Foxier's songs. They must be great musicians. That's why I couldn't hold myself back when they made fun of Foxier. I didn't feel any regrets about getting mad at Pyros earlier. The passion that Akito and the members are putting into their work is extraordinary. Although they don't like their co-stars, they still sing alongside them on the stage. So let's ask Pyros, who are actual fans of Foxier, which Foxier songs they like the most. Well, of course the debut song is the coolest. It made me feel like they're going to rule all the song. Haha, that's right! Foxier is the one who smashed their debut! Of course, they're more known as a group of handsome guys with Foxiers, though, aren't they? Shishiya starts to have a creepy grin on their face. Of course, the MC doesn't notice at all, but Akito's facial expressions were blatantly upset. Well, we should try double session next to see who's going to rule more people. When they asked for Akito's comments, they captured a close-up of him on the screen. The girls were cheering like mad. Oh, the girls are in love with him. I mean, he's sexy and he runs... Look at him, he walks around without a shirt on half the time. His shirt's like open. Hello? I mean... That'd be a great project. We're all looking forward to this. After the recording for the talk show, they started being asked for another song. I think it'll be okay now if it's done until now. There shouldn't be any more troubles from now on. It seems like Pyros isn't up for revealing their identities in public. Although I don't know about the mythical creatures, they're to understand it's not the best to show their true nature to humans. Then, we still have some chance to go against them properly. I was holding onto my Magatama as I watched them from the side of the stage. Wow, I can't read. Having problems saying words. Good job, Foxier! What? Where did she go? She's supposed to be a manager. Well, if it's the usual, she's waiting for us here. Akito, if you're that worried, just honestly say you're worried about her. Huh? What's that again? Nothing. Is your throat gonna be okay? You were shouting a lot today. Nothing. Just wanted to show off our power to those creatures. Raccoon or rabbits or whatever they are. Because of them, the performance went really well, but please don't push yourself too much against them. I don't do such a thing like a fool. It's the girl who started a fight. Well, that's true. I didn't think she'd be that upset and start talking back to Pyros. It's called truly stupid. Person doesn't think twice and causes something. If she didn't have the guardian of the Magatama, you wouldn't know what would happen to her there. You wouldn't know. Wow, I just ran with that. I'm not exactly 100% sure what that was. I tried to fix it as I went, but it's not that great. I barely changed that. I didn't even think that... Oh, I didn't think that even they would take such action. And the security of our land is becoming worse and worse. It means that world of mythical creatures is becoming unbalanced. Do we really have to protect our old culture? We should forget it and live freely. I was joking. Don't worry. Be the chief of the village and help it to flourish. I'll release you to do whatever you want to do. Using her Magatama. Yeah? She's actually a good girl. What? You too? Look, he's blushing. You said you too, because we thought the same thing, right? Earlier, also you... Hey! Let's not talk about that. You already know what happened. You know how the former chief of the village became sealed. Akito, that's... Her ancestor probably did the same thing. She acted innocent in front of our chief, waited until when he's at his most vulnerable, and then she sealed him. Aww, that's why Akito's like trying not to fall in love. He's like, God damn it! Foxier's turn is over. After the Pyros finished their part, they left. They only came to show Foxier that they were going to rival them. I guess next time they see each other, it'll end in a fight. Where are Akito and Kasumi? After they finished, the end time for renting the studio was approaching, which meant it was time for me to clean up and prepare to leave. I wasn't able to wait for them. After they finished on stage. I already called the taxi to return back, but I wasn't able to find them. When I went to the back of the stage, I heard them talking. Is that Akito and Kasumi's voice? Are they arguing about something? Hey, let's not talk about that. You already know what happened. You know how the former chief of the village became sealed. Akito, that's... Her ancestor probably did the same. She probably acted in front of our chief, betrayed our ancestors, and sealed him. What? I couldn't hear well what Kasumi answered. Akito almost screamed and was able to reach my ear. Is that about me? I know my ancestor sealed Akito's ancestors, but was she tricking him to do this? I finally understood why Akito was really mean to me, why he had such hatred in his eyes all the time, and why I was called traitor. What should I do? The moment that I tried to move, I kicked the plate that was for a prop by mistake. Akito's eyes were looking at my side immediately. I had to talk to him because of the pressure. Sorry to make you wait. Akito, Kasumi, it's me. The cab is here. I didn't lie. I meant to call them really. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get ready immediately. Kasumi went to pick up his luggage in the dressing room. Before Akito also tried to follow, he had a glimpse of me. Hey, did you hear anything? It'll be easy to avoid, but I've decided to answer honestly. No. I heard about the betrayal. Akito looked emotional. I didn't hear anything other than that. There's nothing other than that. He left to the dressing room after saying that. The members of Foxier went home for today. I had to go to the office for today's report by myself. Maybe I should go and visit that storage. I wanted to know more about the Magatama, that even with the short amount of time, I looked into the storage in my grandmother's house. I wonder if my ancestor really tricked the foxes. I want to know the truth. In the dark office, I decided to find the answers when I touched the Magatama that released a gentle light. So I'm wondering if we'll find, like, our ancestors... Well, the thing is like, somebody would know it was there, right? In the morning, when you opened the window, there was a sea breeze lightly waving my hair. I have to wash my hair properly, but I like the wind in general. Oh good, it's sunny. Today is the day of the PV shooting. We're here in the vacation home at the seaside with Foxier's members. Okay, so we're doing the beach. That answered that question. Because, like, twice we've gone to the mountains, twice we went to the beach, and I was like, what are we doing in Akito's route? Going to the beach! It's a perfect day for shooting. The background with this sunny day skies matches with the new songs. This is literally the exact same thing we've read like 3 times, but it's okay. Almost. The staff for the shooting must be there at the beach, set up with the equipment by the beach. Meanwhile, Akito entered the living room. I asked Akito, who was still looking sleepy, rubbing his eyelids. You woke up. When I said that, Akito pulled a very unpleasant expression. The weird thing is, the ZL button would skip right now. Because I just clicked it a couple times. It'll skip. So I guarantee if I hold this, it will skip through this, even though we haven't read. It's supposed to only skip red text, but it's not. It doesn't work. Because that's in the options menu. Whoops. Maybe it's in autoplay, already read. But I guess that's not... Oh, well, autoplay. It's only... But you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. I don't know. The options are weird in this game. Anyway. When I said that, Akito pulled a very unpleasant expression. Okay. Yeah, you got a problem with it? You're never good at waking up in the morning. I was being upset and had my hands at the waist. My cousin laughed. This is literally exactly what we read. Anyway. I'm so glad you're getting along with the members. I know they have a particular personality, so it'd be difficult for you to work with them. Oh, really? Well, she's better than the other people you brought in. That's about it. Right. He's always looking down on me after someone compliments me. You should be honest, Akito. The next person who entered the living room is Yuki. This is literally the same, so we're going to speed read through it, because we've already read it, like, literally twice. Exactly word for word is what was in Keisuke's route. That I remember. Kosei's route, I mean, that was a while ago, I don't remember, but I remember Keisuke's route. We read this. Good morning, Yuki. Would you like to have breakfast now? I want to have scrambled eggs. One with lots of milk and airy ones. Yep, and then we make breakfast, and okay. I'll have the same. Okay. When I took everyone's order and started stirring the eggs, Kosei entered the living room. Morning. Everyone's having some eggs. I'm making scrambled eggs. Do you want to have some, Kosei? Yeah, with some bread would be better. And then so-and-so dips some, Kasumi dips them all in soy sauce. Someone dips them in a lot of soy sauce. And it's like, oh my god, but it's really good. And then we go off to the shooting. Sure. I think I made a good breakfast. Airy scrambled eggs and bread with some tomatoes and lettuce. It looks yummy. You've made such a colorful dish for us. You remember this too. You're like, holy fucking shit, word for word. Thank you, Yuki. Well, you can't go wrong with egg dishes. Well, that's true. Not true. You could fuck up eggs, okay? Akito's sarcasm was making me feel down. Keisuke tapped my shoulder to reassure me. "And the easier the dish is, you'll get to know how good the cook is. Oh, we should taste her dish thoroughly instead." Keisuke gave me a pressure rather than support. "Guys, it's really good. And the soy sauce matches well with it." Yeah, he poured me soy sauce. "Kasumi, you shouldn't take that much soy sauce. You'll take too much salt with this." "You really like strong flavor." Kosei looked amazed at Kasumi's scrambled eggs dumped into the soy sauce. "The only flaw is that he has no taste buds." Watching Akito laughing like a little kid, I can't believe the serious conversation from the other day. I mean, it's slightly different because we didn't have a serious conversation with him the other day, but he thinks I'm a descendant from the traitor from his point of view. I hope he doesn't think of me with just that. I can't be confident, but the kindness Akito shows to me sometimes isn't a lie either. All the members finish and try to leave the room already. Everyone finished their breakfast while I was caught up in my thoughts. Wait for me! The tomatoes I had the last minute were sweet and sour. Okay, that part, those little lines didn't happen, but this is mostly the same, so. Akito, please go to the very back. Then Kosei, Kasumi's good over there, watching the lights reflecting on the sea. According to the instructions of the shooting staff, they're trying to shape what the director's having in his mind. The theme of this PV is the love of the summer. It seems like this theme is used too plain. Keisuke peeking into the paper I was holding and made the comment. Then Akito and I took to read. Then Akito, I took and read thoroughly through it. Akito took it and read thoroughly through it, maybe? It's like a love story there since the ancient times, like the tale of Genji from the Heian period. So people who destroy themselves from it? He wasn't talking in sarcasm this time. He just had to murmur this. Nevertheless, if Akito mentions it like that, I had no choice but to stop talking. Maybe Akito's ancestor was dead because of my ancestor. I wonder what really happened. Even if I imagined, I wouldn't understand. But there was something that I can think of. If I'm gonna die, protecting the person I love, then I can understand a little. Akito suddenly looked over to my side when he heard me murmuring. I was also scared of the raccoon. I was more afraid of Foxear being fooled and let them destroy the band. Because of that, I decided to protect you guys. I won't lie that I was depending on the power of the Magatama for that. So if the Magatama responded to me in danger, I was expecting some power from it. Keisuke said the time the raccoons were blown away, they left early because they had damage on their body. With my confession, Akito grasped my shoulder. Stop it! Don't do such a thing! Power of the Magatama is too much for a human being. You don't know what'll happen. Akito suddenly showed his temper, but I thought that's the thought of human beings. If I find someone I want to protect, regardless of what happened to me, then that's love. This new song is a song about love, isn't it? I don't believe that. Akito spat out the words quietly. I wish we could understand each other better, even for a moment. It's okay, we're gonna get stuck in like a cave together or some shit, right? If it's possible, I want to be a bridge between people and a mystic creature. The feeling grew in me. Well, let's take a break. The first half of the PV is done. The rest of the shooting is after lunch, and we're going to get made over and be in it. I distributed the lunch boxes that the staff had prepared. Distributed to the other 4 members. Lastly, I handed to Akito, who looked really hungry. Since the last scene is at sunset, we have to finish shooting by then. Here's yours. Anyway, I wanted more junk food. Bento here is way too healthy. It's like an ordinary young man who makes such a complaint. He looked adorable that I gave one of the fried chicken to Akito. Suddenly, Yuki hugged me from behind, and then he's going to stuff a sausage in my mouth. It's the same shit. Yuki? There's a few random differences, but it's basically the same shit. I almost dropped my lunchbox. Yuki pushed a sausage-shaped octopus into my mouth. Also, don't just shove your fucking sausage octopus in my mouth. That sounds really dirty and inappropriate. Okay, I'm sorry. It just sounds gross. I just didn't know what happened. It made a weird noise. Since you gave the fried chicken to Akito, I'll give this octopus-shaped sausage to you. He gave me an innocent smile as usual. Okay, thank you. Why are you saying thank you? Are you stupid? Yuki, just because it's sweet you don't like the sausage, you can't just give it to her. That's why you shouldn't receive it either. You knew that. I'm surprised. You look like you like sausage-shaped an octopus. Well, I like the really spicy stuff. I dig Yuki for that. Yuki still talks while hugging me from behind. I like Yuki as a person. I don't want to date him, though. Just get away from her, you fool. What? Why? I want to be with our manager. I can hug her. Don't keep her just for yourself. What do you mean you want to, too? When did I hug her? What are you talking about? We're going back to shooting. Akito's face turned red and he pulled Yuki away from me. When did I hug Akito? Oh. I remembered the time he pulled me into bed at the festival. I started to remember all the things that happened with him and blushed. It's good to see everyone lively. It's very rare to see my brother being jealous. Kasumi started to talk to me from the side. When I got surprised and pulled my face up, Kasumi was already standing next to me. This didn't happen, because obviously, jealous? Huh? You didn't even notice? Oh, nothing, really. Kasumi wryly smiled and continued. I've also heard about our ancestor being sealed. I did grow up with him. But I've read from the scroll in the storage in the past, the bond between people and the mystic creatures were admired even, maybe. The bond between people and the mystic creatures? Yes, I'm hoping maybe you may be able to make a good bond with us, although my brother denies it stubbornly. Kasumi, next scene's with you! The staff came to call him. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be there right away. I was left behind and watching the glittering sea and the members. People and mystic creatures both aren't that different. They take a hand together, they think beautiful things are beautiful, and they cherish the one they like. Since I know that, I felt like I could do my best for them. Here we go. For shooting the last sunset scene, it might be around the time for a tidal wave. Oh, we didn't get to be in the scene yet. We're deciding whether we're going to have that tomorrow or not. Please wait a moment. I thought it's not time for the tidal wave to reach yet. And the power between Fox and the other creatures is unbalanced, so that's why. When they say tidal wave, do they mean like high tide? Because like high tide isn't a tidal wave. Like a tidal wave is fucking like... They're saying this, like it might be time for... I'm assuming they mean high tide, because nobody's panicking. A tidal wave seems like it'd be like... Like, that's like, holy shit, we're gonna die! Like... They just seem so nonchalant about it. I was like, in the back of my mind, every single time they mention it, I'm like... Tidal wave? Really? I think it's just high tide, but... Keisuke dropped a word. Let's go back to the vacation home for now. We don't know how far the waves would reach. It's going to be dangerous to be around near the sea. Well, I mean, with all the equipment, yeah, but like... You can still... You just... It's not like it's going to come rushing in. It just starts to slowly come in, you know? But in the time you're shooting, all of a sudden you start shooting and then you're like, oh... And it could come in fast, but not that fast. Not literally like a fucking tidal wave, but... let the members of Foxier know. After I let the members of Foxier know, I went back after and I helped the staff finish clean up. We didn't get to be in this. I'm very sad about that. Yay, you're home! Did Akito come back with you? Well, Yuki went down the stairs, he asked me. Oh, I thought Akito came back here by now. I looked around the house. Kosuke is reading by the sofa next to the window. Keisuke is having coffee at the kitchen. Kasumi's reading a newspaper. What? Akito isn't back yet? I'll look for him. If I went out, there's only a narrow way to walk by the sea. Maybe he was left behind somehow. Akito! As I run along the beach, there's light further away from the rocks. Akito? The foothold area is smaller. I put my foot on the rock to stabilize and looked at the other side. There, Akito with ears and tails and staring at the moon, floating on the sea. Akito, what are you doing? It's dangerous. You won't be able to return if you don't come back now. Akito's ear moved when he heard my voice. He turned around with a disappointed face. You think I'd be in danger? It's not me. You're gonna be in a dangerous place. Go back to the cottage. Oh! When I tried to go back, there was water already at my feet. I slipped off of the rock. Oh, hey! Wow. When Akito grabbed my arm, Akito grabbing my arm stopped me from falling. Well, whatever. He grabs your arm, stops you falling. Akito's tail swelled up. Akito, what happened? Oh. I don't know. I heard that my ancestors used to gain power from the moon, so I was just trying it just in case. Akito's atmosphere changed rapidly to trembling. Akito's trembling finger was pointing at the necklace. Oh, is it me? Makatama? I came near you. It's not the power of the moon? Put that away. I'll try to go back to normal. Akito was in agony with the power overflowing in him. I collapsed on the spot. Akito! I put my Magatama away under my clothes and grabbed Akito's hand, who was collapsed. Because he tried to grab us and the Megatama reacted. But you would think it's only when we're like, no, get away from me. But I don't know. The sunset already, and the moon reflected on the sea. Oh, now we're going to a different cave. This looks slightly different. Akito, the back of the cave is dry. We can sit down there. Akito pointed with his finger, but he wasn't able to move. Instead, he had a gloomy look on his face. You're not at work right now. Talk freely. What? Okay, I'll try, but... It's okay, seriously. If it was only me, it could have gone back fine. Since you came along, the water level went up. Akito's sarcasm made me feel down again. Sorry, I was worried. When I said that, Akito's face looked away. It's dark and hard to see, but his face turned red. Are you okay? You're not having a fever. Oh, don't come close to me! Just sit down over there for now. I tried touching his forehead, but he backed up and got a bit more space. You don't have to say it like that. As Akito told me, I had to sit down on the floor, grasping my knees. Akito's appearance is also back to normal. His ears and tail are gone. How are you feeling? You don't have any injuries? When I noticed the way I talked to him was more personal, Akito doesn't seem to mind. It's okay. I'm actually feeling better. Full of energy. Phew. I don't know why the Megatama responded right now. Well, come to think of it, Keisuke said, if I want to have the Megatama, I have to make you fall for me. What? I couldn't hear the end of the sentences because Akito's voice went smaller. Hey, with this high tide, do you think the Pyros would do something to us? I couldn't bear the silence between the two of us, and I suddenly mumbled the worry that I had in my mind. I also heard their songs, but I didn't feel anything like what I felt from Foxeer. The psychedelic fan people were there too, but it was more horrific than when they were moving at the same... that they were all moving in the same way. It's probably what's called brainwashed. Yeah, maybe. Whatever happens, I'll protect you for sure. For us, with our voice, we can dominate others, and the strong power wins. Dominate others? Akito explained to me that the force of the Megatama is protecting me from the creature's power. For example, when I first met Akito, my Megatama beamed the strong light, but my cousin didn't remember anything. That's why I thought I had a dream. But that's the specialty skill that Keisuke has. He manipulates and controls the memory of others by his singing voice. Memory... Oh, we're already in Chapter 6? I was like, we're never getting to Chapter 6! Are you okay? When I asked, Akito seemed surprised and looked at me. You look pained. I couldn't stand him staring at me, so I explained. Although I thought he'd get angry if I said that. Instead, he bit his lips. You're such a weird girl. He said that, and Akito sat next to me. Even though it was summer evening, it was a little chilly, so his temperature was comforting. The next morning, when I woke up, the tide was gone completely. Yay! We can finally go back! The inside of the cave wasn't too cold overnight, and I was able to spend the night without a problem. But if I think to stay there alone, it might be a little scary. It was good that we were there together, wasn't it? When I casually said that, Akito blushed and tried talking without his voice for a moment. Fine. Just don't mention anything like that when we get to the vacation house. Huh? Why? I thought I should apologize to the others properly. I mean, they know we've been gone all night together, so... We were talking foolishly. We walked toward the vacation house. A step on the beach had shells shining and glittering in the morning lights. I guess we'll stop. Because we're just starting Chapter 7, and, sometimes we only have, a few more minutes left, so there's no point in, getting too far into the shooting. So we'll stop here, and we'll continue, and we'll start with Chapter 7 in the next part. So, yeah. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more!